Hello there, gorgeous magical creators. I am Christine Collins, and I wanted to share with you today a tip or insight regarding boundaries and what I call the survive or thrive mode. So a lot of times when we think about setting boundaries with other people in our lives, we often tend to think about this as being necessary in situations where someone else is maybe pushing us a little too hard or trying to take advantage of us, or we don't feel good about the way somebody else is approaching us. And so we implement a boundary, we say no, we're very clear about what we want or don't want in the situation. And that's all very important. But this topic, this conversation, is around a slightly more subtle and slightly more difficult situation in which boundaries are also very valuable. And what I'm talking about here is the difference between surviving and thriving. And this comes up in scenarios where there is something that should feel good to us. So it's not a situation where someone is being negative or difficult or bullying or aggressive. I'm talking about the situations that are pleasant, or they should be pleasant, or they should feel good, or we should be enjoying them. And because of that expectation that we should be enjoying something and that other people are being nice or they are being friendly, it can be more difficult in those situations to continue to be assertive and to hold to our boundaries. So I'll give you a couple of quick and easy examples. So say, for example, you are doing something that you would consider to be pleasurable. Perhaps that something is practicing a yoga class, or it may be receiving a massage, or some other type of service that is considered pleasurable. And yet, in that situation, in that environment, there's something that doesn't feel good. And so now you're torn because there's a part of you that's saying, this hurts, or this is uncomfortable, or this doesn't feel good. Perhaps the therapist is using too much pressure and they're hurting your feet, or perhaps in the yoga class, they're encouraging you into a pose that simply doesn't feel right to your body. It may not be painful, it may just not be the right pose for you on that particular day, in that particular moment. And there's the other part of you that's going, well, but this is supposed to be enjoyable. I'm supposed to be relaxing. I'm supposed to be enjoying this. I don't want to say anything. I'll just breathe through it. And so as a result, you end up not enjoying the thing that you are there to enjoy. And so in those scenarios, I would say the assertiveness and the boundaries is just as important as when someone is being aggressive or bullying. There's nothing wrong with a very kind and gentle, excuse me, could you please use a little bit less pressure? Or, in the instance of the yoga class, being a little bit rebellious and not following the exact instructions that you're being given and modifying that pose to really feel good to your body in that moment. Another example would be perhaps a friend or family member or partner has asked you to do something that's fun, but perhaps it requires a lot of energy, and it's a particular day when you are exhausted. Maybe you've been running around or working really hard, and you just want to go to bed or curl up with a book. And it's okay in those situations to say, I would love to do that. Could we do it tomorrow or next week instead? So setting the same boundaries and holding to yourself, regardless of whether it's a situation where someone is overtly being difficult or aggressive, or someone is actually trying to do something nice for you or with you, you can still honor your own needs, your own desires, your own values without hurting the relationship, but holding true to what you need so that you can thrive instead of just breathe through that and survive it. So I hope you found this to be helpful. Once again, I am Christine Collins, and I hope that you have an absolutely magical and creative rest of your day.